If Harbaugh is responsible for Stallions, why is he not responsible for more? And if he is, you already suspended him 6 games. And if you want to prevent Harbaugh from ever coming back to college football, go ahead. But that should not fall on Sharon Moore. Whether he made mistakes or not, he was not the head coach at the time. It's not fair what they're going to do to him.
But multiple problems with this. One, the NCAA didn't suspend Jim Harbaugh for 6 games. The NCAA suspended Jim Harbaugh for 0 games. Michigan suspended him for 3 games, and the Big Ten suspended him for 3 games in 2 separate suspensions last season. NCAA never got involved. That's problem 1. Problem 2, not fair. Sharon Moore deleted 53 text messages with Connor Stallions. He was getting the information. He was covering up the scandal. He took part in it and was probably the biggest beneficiary as the play caller of having opposing team signals. How on earth is it not fair to punish him?
Yeah, I'm with you, Shay. If he deleted 53 text messages, they were able to recover them. So then he said, all right, here you go. And they show conversations about the sign stealing. Sharon Moore's as guilty as Jim Harbaugh. Come on, Evan, you're better than that.
See, this is the problem, the lying and the cover-up. We don't know Connor Stallions. We don't know him. We don't know him. We don't know him. And then you have the evidence of you did know who Connor Stallions was, and you know what Connor Stallions did for the university. So here's the deeper question I want to ask you, Shay, regarding this. First of all, in the light of NIL, clearly the NCAA has no teeth anymore. Remember back in the day when they would snatch banners and what teeth do they have anymore? You would think that in this scenario with Michigan, the sign stealing, that the NCAA would have something to say about it. The Big Ten had more to say about it. The university had more to say about it than the NCAA. Is that even a thing anymore? Real question. Is that a thing anymore? Does the NCAA step in and do anything anymore?
Not like they used to. Every time somebody threatens them with litigate, we'll back off. The only people they hold accountable, the coaches.
This is why these coaches are leaving and fleeing these jobs, is because there's no accountability. There's no czar. There's nobody in front. That's my question. So in this scenario, okay, if Shamar Moore clearly is guilty in my eyes, Shay, but then where does the suspension come from?
Oh, and this is their problem, Hoodie, because it's one thing when they can drop a nuke on SMU and nobody's really going to riot. It's one thing when they can hit Penn State with a sledgehammer. When you go after Michigan, you're going to be in for trouble, especially now when the CFP is the governing body over the postseason. And the NCAA can institute a 2-year postseason ban, which I've heard is the likely penalty. But Michigan could just turn around and say, we don't want to be a part of you anymore. Like the Big Ten and the SEC make all the money. The NCAA answers to those 2 conferences, not the other way around. So if the Big Ten and the SEC say, we're our own thing now, we don't want to be a part of you, we're not even going to listen to what you have to say, how can the NCAA fight that?
Well, Sharon Moore should be suspended for the year. If he fully knew what was going on with Connor Stallions, Cap, Coach Moore should be gone for a year.
Right, if he was helping to orchestrate it. If he just knew, that's different for me. But if he was part of the sign stealing, gone.
Second question. Since the NCAA since the NCAA has no teeth anymore, should the banner be snatched?
I don't care about snatching the banner.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you for an answer. It doesn't matter what you care about. I asked you because in light of the story that we have today, do you believe that the banner should be snatched, taken away, or asterisked?
Based on what I know today, no. Now, if you present me the evidence and say, here you go, and they've got sign stealing aplenty and it helped them win games, because for me, it's not a coincidence that Jim Harbaugh's record was okay, and then all of a sudden the allegations of Connor Stallions getting involved, his record took off. Like, oh, wow, they're amazing.
Yeah.
So if you prove to me, if you could document, here it is, we've got it. Yeah, then I would snatch the banner. Calipari gave some kids some money. What do you have? 2 banners taken down?
Right. No matter what the things we saw on the playing surface, the record is the record. And the record is, hey, you won the national championship, however, and that has to be written in the books. So, Shay, again, when it comes to Michigan, if this is all true, does Michigan vacate that championship?
I'm actually
for the book.
This is going to surprise you. I'm going to say no. And I don't. If I were the NCAA, I wouldn't snatch the banner, and I don't think that they should. And the reason why they shouldn't is because they knew about the sign stealing scandal before the national championship got played. You had an opportunity, if you wanted to be serious about this, to ban them from the postseason last year.
Have. They said that they agreed that they were not going to pursue this till after the season, and he had every right to go to court. There was no way it was going to be adjudicated by that point in time.
I understand. I'm saying if they wanted to do it, they should have maximized their power and figured out a way to do it last year. But because they didn't, and they allowed the games to be played,
he had the legal process to follow. They
could always have found a way.
They could not. They could not. All the lawyers that have talked about it said he'll drag this out. It'll be way past, and it'll be gone to the NFL. There's no way they could have without him getting due process. They could not.
They had all the show cause stuff. They were ready to go to court in December.
And he had legal representation. They were going to drag it out. They were not going to have that done. So now, okay, guess what?
I'm not stripping it.
I'm stripping.
We knew about it. We played the game. It is what it is. And frankly, we all know Louisville beat Michigan in the national title, whatever year that was, 2013. We all know. We all watched the game. I don't care that they took the banner down. Louisville won the national championship. You're going to take the banner down and erase everybody's memories? No. 2-year postseason ban. I hate that school. That's my pound of flesh because it damages recruiting. Makes it very difficult going forward to build a program when you can't go to the playoff. That's my pound of flesh. I don't care what they do with the banner. Keep it up. Celebrate. Have fun. Enjoy your memories. I don't have to legitimize it. The court of public opinion can hang an asterisk next to it, but I'm not taking the banner away.
Okay. Because I think that these are issues that are on the table coming into this season for Michigan. Sharon Moore, one. The other one is, what is the record now for Michigan? Because if it was all through a cheating scandal, again, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. We've heard that for a long time. But if it's egregious where you could see it out front and couldn't care less what anyone else thinks, okay, well, again, the record is shameful when you have a championship taken away from you. Shameful.
Great.
Did you see they also confirmed Connor Stallions was indeed in the Bobby Valentine disguise on the Central Michigan sideline at Michigan State?
Yeah.
Getting signals from the Spartan sideline?
Deny until it's like, oh, yeah, we did actually know that guy. And by the way, it was as obvious to Kap and I as anyone else that Jim Harbaugh was going to leave Michigan because of this issue. He didn't want to be anywhere around it. If there was no scandal, it wouldn't surprise me if Jim would still be in the job because he loves Michigan that much. But because when you get the long arm of the law coming, Kap, just like for Pete Carroll or anybody else,
I'm out.
Coach, can we talk to you? I'm out, NFL. You handle it.
Right.
Coach Moore, you've done a great job. Here, you take this grenade. Take it.
Right.
I'm out. I got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I would not allow them to have a banner hanging up, national champion, if those allegations and everything they make public is true. Gone.
It would be interesting, too, if the NFL makes him answer for whatever the college football suspension ends up being. They did that with Tressel after Ohio State. They would not allow. They made him serve a suspension in Indianapolis.
Yeah, 7 games. Was it Indy or Cleveland?
I think it was Indy. I can double check, but I know that they made Tressel serve the suspension, and they don't like to piss off their free farm system in the NCAA. So it'll be interesting if a suspension comes down collegiately for Harbaugh. If the NFL says, "Yeah, you got to serve that," that'll make the Chargers real happy.
Yeah, you're right. Indianapolis Colts suspended him for the first 6 games as a replay. He's was a replay game consultant for them. Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was the head of Youngstown State.
President, yeah. I've spent time around him. My college coach was his brother, so I know him. Great dude. Great dude.
Ah, Shay, you haven't lived until you take that flight to Pittsburgh and get a drive into Youngstown State. Oh, God. The worst.
The worst. Shay, let me tell you something,
Jesus.
man. It Youngstown, Ohio, it's awful. Makes Detroit look like Honolulu.
Huh.
Yeah, I told you that story like 5 years ago. Game's over. UIC loses to Youngstown State. So, all right, we got to get an Uber, get back to the hotel. Try the Uber app. Uber doesn't work. Try the Lyft app. Lyft doesn't work. Turn to one of the people on the scores table. Hey, do you have a car service here, like a Uber or Lyft? Uber? What's that? It's a car service, sir. It's to get you to and from. That sounds like a good second job. I like that. Okay. Go to the little booth there that has a phone booth, and it's got a phone book there. 24-hour cab service. 24-hour cab service closed at 10 o'clock.
Damn.
Correct.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's 10:30 Eastern. What do? Thank God the assistant athletic director took us back 30 minutes out of his way through Canfield, Ohio, and got us back to where we need to be. Good man.
Brutal.
Youngstown, Ohio.
It sucks.
All